What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, I want to give you a quick update on what's happening with Shiba Inu because we are starting to see the price give us some clarity, and that's of course what I want to provide for you guys. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade some Shiba Inu yourself on up to 25x leverage without needing the KYC, meaning you don't have to hand over your personal information, you can just sign up and start trading, and you want up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards, check out that Margex link down below. This is where I do the vast majority of all of my trading. Guys, I keep tens of thousands of dollars on this exchange because I'm trading here every single day. So make sure that you do go check that out down below. Again, you'll get up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards with my link specifically down there. Now, looking at Shiba Inu, of course, just for a very brief and fast recap, over the last couple of days, we have been tracking the breakout from this macro inverse head and shoulders. We, of course, had the left shoulder here, the head here, and the right shoulder here. And as Shiba Inu's price did come up over this, of course, roughly 2164 level, I told you all to watch very closely on this breakout. I said, if we do get a successful breakout here, meaning we break out of it and we stay out of it, we don't just break out and come back down, that we could see Shiba Inu's price try to push up between 373 and 488. And so, of course, because of that, what I've told you all is that I'll update you a ton on, everything that's happening right now as we are trying to decide whether we're going to sustain this breakout or not. And what we can see is that at this given point, things are starting to get very interesting. So as we saw Shiba Inu's price break out of here, what ended up happening is that it was on the fast track towards our breakout zone, but then it ran into some resistance at this previous high that we put in right here around the 2.9 to the 3 area. And although, of course, you don't usually see these levels hold a ton of resistance, this one just did. And it started to force Shiba Inu's price to consolidate a bit, somewhat forcing it a bit downwards. The bearish liquidity right here was very big. And that's the reason why we're starting to see Shiba Inu kind of consolidate a bit. This isn't just a random point of resistance like you would think if you were just looking at a blank chart like this, right? No, this is a major point of resistance that we had back here that is forcing the price back down. And so the question that we have now is, will this force the price back with, to some of these key support levels or not? And it's starting to seem that way for me. If you do look at the hourly charts, what happened here is that Shiba Inu's price started getting some chop on the way up here. It then got the breakout to the downside. It had the B correction, then the C correction. So it had a little 5 wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An A, B, C correction to the downside, and it's trying to break back upwards. But at this exact moment, while it's trying to break upwards, it's still running into this macro point of resistance. And the issue with this is that the more times in this type of instance, while we're at the top of a move like this, that we run into resistance and run into it and run into it and run into it, the more likely it is that the liquidity starts drying up a little bit and we actually do come back down towards some of these lower levels. And so what I actually wanted to let you guys know today is that since we are now seeing over the last 24 hours that Shiba Inu's price is struggling very bad at this zone, I would be a little bit cautious right now. I'm not saying to sell. I'm not saying to do any of that. If you do want to take some profits off the table, I think that does make sense. But in the grand scheme of things, I think being very cautious right now makes a ton of sense because it is struggling right now. There is the idea that some sort of inverse head and shoulders is forming right here, but we are at the top of a move, and that's just not going to be very validatable. And so where I think that we are with Shiba right now is in a spot to where it's still deciding whether or not it's going to break this massive resistance zone. And if we continue in the direction that we're going in right now, which is it can't break this resistance zone, there's a chance that we see a more macro pullback back towards that 216 to 22 level down here, which could still be a pullback of roughly 13 to 14%. And so knowing that that's a card that's on the table, knowing that we are seeing a little bit of resistance, a little bit of rejection and a struggle here, I would just tell you again to be a little bit cautious. There is a bit, a possibility, probably about a 60% chance that Shiba does see a bit of, like maybe even upwards of a 10 to 15% correction to the downside. And although that's not the end of the world, obviously you don't want to be doing a ton of buying right when a 15% correction happens. So that's the primary thing that I'm noticing today. Outside of that, there is the possibility that this does get invalidated. And guys, the way that this gets invalidated, or basically just meaning like the price won't go down here, is if Shiba Inu's price is capable of breaking the 2.9 level. If it can come up and break this 2.9 level, then we're in a spot in which we can actually continue upwards. We invalidate this massive point of bearish liquidity. We try to flip it into bullish liquidity, and then we go forward. But while we're below that 2.9 level, we are aiming directly at this 2.1 to 2.2 area, and I do think that's where we're most likely to go. So, of course, this this is just guessing. It's me being speculative, and at the end of the day, nobody knows. But whenever I start to see movements like this to where we are just simply struggling to clear a resistance point, and we know there's a big point of support right below us, it does become more and more likely that you head back to that support level, try to build support, and then try to clear back to the upside. I still do believe that Shiba Inu's price is going to break its way up here. I do think we're going to see within the next few months Shiba Inu push between this 3.7 and 4.8 level, but it might take a little bit of time, and we might need to back test here before making that move to the upside. So of course, I will continue to update you as this all does play out. If you do want extra information from me, guys, don't forget, for as little as $1 a month, you can join our private community, which is linked down below. I wanted to make a super affordable place that people can join in during the bull market right now to be able to talk and ask questions to other community members and me, and I can try to give my guidance as best as possible. And for $5 a month, you can get access to extra insights and thoughts from me, daily fundamental analysis reports, daily technical analysis reports, and I am putting together a crash course right now for those of you who are a part of the community. So either $1 or $5 a month gets you access to the Tyler Hill Cryptos Vault, so feel free to go check that out down below. And don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel, guys. I did a live stream about 5 or 10 minutes ago, and I do plan on doing more of those, so turn on your notifications so you don't miss those or any of the other videos that we post throughout the day. But overall, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's quick update on Shiba Inu. Just letting you know, hey, listen, be a little careful, a little cautious over the next day or two. We might see Shiba Inu's price want to go back towards that support level, and while we are below that 2.9 level, that's most likely what's going to happen. Probably a 60-70% chance that's what's going to happen. So be cautious, be aware. Don't forget, if you do want to trade some Shiba Inu yourself, check out that Margex link down in the description below to get up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.